Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It has rightly been said that law is the mirror of a society, while society itself is shaped by historical experiences. Dear fellows, let me begin with a question. Do you think law is all about legal doctrines, provisions, and sub-provisions? If you think yes, let me invite you to rethink and reshape your perception. Law was not created overnight, nor it exists in vacuum. It is the product of centuries of political struggles and administrative experiences. Uh, Law has deep connections with history, philosophy, uh, medicines, and many more such disciplines. But my overview focuses on the overlapping area of law and history. It has rightly been said that law without history is like a tree without its roots. For this purpose, I got a book which is titled as History of South Asia. South Asia, a historical narrative by Muhammad Yunus, which was published in 2003. This book, interestingly, begins the history of South Asia from the absolute beginning. Now, absolute beginning means it starts the history of South Asia from the geographical creation of subcontinent right after the occurrence of Big Bang. Well, this is a sort of scientific and geographical discussion which is irrelevant in this context. First of all, the book discusses some terms like Hindu, Sindhu, Hind, Al-Hind, Hindustan, and many more such terms, and their technical and literal meanings has been discussed, and also the evolution of these terms has been discussed. From here, the discussion goes back to the ancient civilizations and the flourishment of ancient civilizations, activities like their trade, politics, architecture, and all those things has been discussed. And finally, the mysterious decline of ancient civilizations. The decline of ancient Indus Valley civilization is followed by the Vedic period. Vedic period is such a period in which most of the Vedic texts and literature were composed. Uh, all the social values and structures were shaped in this period, like caste system and all other things belongs to this era. And some new philosophies or religions emerged as a reaction against those orthodoxies, like Jainism and Buddhism. These philosophies emerged as a reaction against all those orthodoxies. After Vedic era, the book discusses the era of great empires, like Mauryan Empire was established after Vedic era. It was such an empire which, under the reign of Ashoka the Great, could unify this entire subcontinent under the reign of a single emperor, a single king. And it is regarded as the first imperial unification of the subcontinent. After the decline of Mauryan Empire, subcontinent witnessed a severe political fragmentation, and it is estimated that 16 independent kingdoms were established after the decline of Mauryan Empire, and one among the 16 independent kingdoms could build another great empire, and it is regarded as the Gupta Empire. The emperors of the Gupta Empire, like Samudra Gupta and Chandra Gupta, could unify the entire subcontinent once again for the second time in the history of South Asia, and it is regarded as the second imperial unification of the subcontinent. Also, this era is marked as the classical age of Hinduism, or golden age of Hinduism. From here, the discussion enters into the medieval ages. Medieval ages are marked by the attacks from the foreigners like Arabs, Afghans, and Turco-Afghans. Also, in this era, this era is marked by the rise of the Rajputs in the southern part of subcontinent. The attacks of Arabs and Afghans and Turco-Afghans settled ground for the Delhi Sultanate. Delhi Sultanate was such an empire which was ruled by at least 5 different dynasties, like Slave dynasty, followed by Khilji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, Lodi, and Sayyid dynasty. All these dynasties ran over the Delhi Sultanate. Delhi Sultanate was finally replaced by Mughal Empire. Mughal Empire contributed a lot in the political, social, and legal development of in the history of South Asia, especially the era of Akbar the Great. Especially the Mughal Emperor Akbar the Great could consolidate the entire subcontinent for the third time in the history of South Asia, and also Mughal Empire could contributed a lot in the development of South Asia. Even today, there are some systems in bureaucracy and land revenue system which can be traced back in the Mughal era. And finally, Mughal Empire was replaced by Britishers, Britishers entered in the late 17th century in the maritime trade system of subcontinent. For the first time, they appeared as a political entity in the subcontinent in the shape of East India Company. And so, slowly and gradually, with the passage of time, corporate entity transformed itself into a political entity and took the control of the political, social, and all other affairs of subcontinent, which was ultimately under the direct control of the British Empire. And this is how subcontinent came into the direct control of British Empire. This was a brief overview of this book, and I would recommend this book to all of my fellows. Thank you, everyone.